Hello and welcome back to another watch along. Today we are doing Brighton versus Wolves in the Premier League, and I'm just sending it out to my Instagram now that I am live. And in a minute, I'm gonna test whether the mic is working and stuff like that. But yeah, this is our second watch along. Um, so if you haven't known already, 2 weeks ago I did the Liverpool Fulham watch along in the Carabao Cup. Just make sure my TV is muted. It is. And yeah, hopefully nothing lags and everything goes well, everything goes to plan and stuff like that. I'm just going to mute my mic quickly just so I know that the mics are working and stuff like that. All right, it's working. It's working. Should be fine. It should be fine for the stream. But obviously, whenever you're viewing this, let me know how it was, the audio, whether you're going to watch live or whether, well, no one's watching live right now, but when you click on this video, whether you see this video. Yeah, Brighton versus Wolves. Obviously, as a West Ham fan, these two teams are around us in the table. So, well, not around us in the table as much as Wolves, but in terms of Brighton, if they win tonight, I'm pretty sure they go a point behind us. So ideally, like best worst case scenario, I'd rather Wolves win. Um, I think mainly a draw though, because yeah, Brighton. Yeah, if they win, they're 1 point behind. If Wolves win, they are the same amount of points as Brighton, which means they'd both be 4 points behind us. We're not that far away from mid-table, as much as we're sixth place right now, but we're still sixth place. Everyone kind of drew around the European races. Looking to have the aftermath of the Sheffield United game tomorrow, and we're also going to have Middlesbrough Chelsea watch along. Um, on the channel on the second leg. I didn't do the first leg tonight. My first watch along was obviously the Liverpool Fulham one, as I said. Uh, have I got the watch along now? I'm just getting on my screen now. Yep, got everything. Got TNT Sports on, but we're also gonna have one eye on Afcon as well. And listen, the reason why I've got one eye on it is because, no offense to Ghana, need you lot to stink up the place because Mohamed Kudus is there. Mohamed Kudus is our best player. Um, so I'm just putting it out to my Twitter now as well. Just got to put the image up now, the watch along. Yeah. All right, done. All the promotion done. Now we can fully concentrate on this game. I'm also going to get the lineups up. Get the lineups up. Why not? The problem with Brighton is that they put their thing in number order, so I'm going to get on an app instead. So 7:45. Yep, there it is. Brighton, I've got Jason Still in goal. I'm assuming it's going to be Jack Hinshaw in at right back. It might be Pascal Gross, who's played there before. Lewis Dunk, Van Heck, Estupinian, Pascal Gross, Billy Gilmore, James Milner, and Buonanotte, João Pedro, and Danny Welbeck in the front three. Wolverhampton Wanderers, they've gone, ever since they've gone free at the back around the start of the season, they've uh, done quite well. They're sticking with that. Jose Sarr, Max Kilman, obviously former West Ham player Craig Dawson and Totti and three centre backs. Matt Doherty starts at left wing back. He can play there, but it might be a bit of a hindrance to their build up. And right wing back is Nelson Semedo. Tommy Doyle and Lamina just in front. Obviously, Lamina's been going through some stuff and now he's back in the lineup. And Sarabia and Neto are just playing behind Mateus Cunha. So again, like this could go anywhere. Brighton are a bogey team to Wolves as much as they are to West Ham nowadays. I don't think Wolves have beaten Brighton in their last few games, and I think, and to be fair, especially at the start of the season, I think Brighton beat them like 3-0 or something, and Wolves were at a bad place. They were still transitioning in. They were still getting their mood up, let's say, because they didn't really start off the season in the right mood with Lopetegui leaving and Gary O'Neill coming in. But Gary O'Neill stabilised them, and I feel like with Gary O'Neill, because he's a young manager, you're still going to find faults you're still going to see him make some naive mistakes, but he has them stable. A lot of controversy over him leaving Bournemouth at the time. I guess him getting sacked from Bournemouth because they wanted to go in a different direction, ironically a Brighton type direction in terms of the managers they want to appoint. And Iriola's doing well at Bournemouth. Gary O'Neill's doing well at Wolves. Like, everyone kind of benefited from that. Uh, Obviously, Gary O'Neill beat Bournemouth. I would have probably done like a bit more of a celebration against the people at Bournemouth, but he didn't want to shed the light on that. Fair enough. But at the same time, everyone has benefited from that. I think the media kind of over exaggerated how good Gary O'Neill was. It wasn't like it was a miracle keeping um, Bournemouth up, really. It was just that Scott Parker was that bad of a manager. But it's interesting to see whether Hugo Bueno could get back into this Wolves side. He is on the bench as quite of a young bench. Obviously, Nathan Fraser making a name for himself against Brentford. Um, Hugo Bueno is an actual left wing back. He plays on the left side quite a bit. He's left footed. So with Matt Doherty coming in, I don't know whether Hugo Bueno's picked up an injury or whether he's picked up a knock. Um, but Matt Doherty starts, so maybe this kind of hints towards the fact that maybe Hugo Bueno maybe one of the players that might needed to be upgraded by Wolves by Gary O'Neill. Eight Nori, I'm pretty sure, or actually he's at AFCON, I think. He's with Algeria, of course. I keep forgetting about that. Speaking of Brighton as well, Simon Adingra will be coming back soon because Ivory Coast got battered. They got battered 4-0. I didn't make this public, but I thought Ivory Coast would win the competition because I thought it's your home nation, is in your country. I thought like maybe you might give you a bit of a boost, but it hasn't given them a boost at all. I'm also gonna have my phone notifications on to see if there's gonna be any transfer news and stuff like that. I doubt that here we go for Calvin Phillips to West Ham is gonna happen, but back to Simon Adingra, he's gonna come back, and from what I've seen, he's been okay. It's been okay. I think Matoma's come back from injury. I think he's been injured for a bit. I just can't wait for the Premier League schedule to get back to normal. Obviously, the winter break has happened, so 5 fixtures happened last week, 5 fixtures happened this week, and we've got FA Cup on the weekend, got Carabao Cup midweek. So the next weekend, no, the next weekday, so around Tuesday to Thursday, we're gonna have everyone playing around the same time. We're playing Bournemouth at home, which won't be an easy game. We haven't won this year as well. I watched Bournemouth against Tottenham and Liverpool. Bournemouth weren't good against Liverpool, but I think that's more due to the fact that they've got a lot of fullbacks out and they changed formation. They went more free at the back. Against Tottenham, they were just not clinical enough. Like Tottenham and Bournemouth pretty much went attack for attack. They went head to head. They went bar for bar. And Tottenham put their chances away, but Bournemouth didn't. Bournemouth had like 30 shots or something like that. To have 30 shots at the top at Tottenham Stadium, you must have created some sort of chances in a row, like very creative and stuff like that. They've got good players, Bournemouth. They're also around the places where when you're mid-table, like the teams are in mid-table right now, you're not quite far away from Europe. You're not far away from getting dragged back into the relegation battle. Now, this is probably going to be the worst relegation battle this year because it's probably going to be the three teams that got promoted. As much as there's some good in all of those three teams, obviously we drew to one of them on the weekend. Um, it's probably very standard the fact that they're all probably going to get relegated. And even then, with Everton, they might get a second points deduction. Nottingham Forest might get a points deduction as well. But I still think that even with the points deductions, I don't think any of the other three are going to stay up. Maybe Luton. Luton's probably the best one. It's always usually the playoff team that you know gets the best out of themselves, you could say. But um, we're just waiting now. 6 minutes till kickoff. As I'm looking at the time. Make sure whenever you're watching this to like the video and share everywhere. We're trying to grow the channel. Road to 500 subscribers is the aim this year, of course. Can I edit the title? I can edit the title. I don't. You can't even put a hashtag on here. Um, no, you can't put a hashtag on stream on through Mac. I was gonna put a hashtag road to 500 subscribers on my thing. I might just do that on my phone now. But anyway, make sure to like and subscribe if you are new. And I'll put my social medias in the description a bit later. I'm trying not to use so much of the internet, um, so nothing lags over here or on my screen when I'm watching. Let's go to channel, go live. I can't edit it right now, but I will edit it for future watch-alongs. Let me know your score predictions whenever you're watching, whenever you dip into the chat as well. Um, I do feel like it might be a draw. It might be a bit of a scrappy game. I think Brighton play good football, but they haven't had as much zip. You would say probably in the past 2 or 3 months. But for Wolves, they're very solid side. They try and stretch you out, try and go out wide a lot. Pedro Neto's back as well. He's a key player. He got unlucky. I remember that Newcastle game where Wolves drew with Newcastle. Wolves probably deserved to win that, in my opinion. And Pedro Neto, he went on a run and then he just got injured throughout that. And he suffered with injuries quite a lot, which is a shame because he's a really good talent. Always been linked with a move like above Wolves, etc. But the only thing that might be stopping him is the injury record. Like, will they take much of a chance to pay that price tag, especially with a guy like that who gets injured all the time? I don't know why TNT don't get, representatives from each club as a pundits. Same with Sky. They only got Steve Sidwell. They just put his mate Peter Crouch, just because they have a podcast together. But couldn't they've got a Wolves player? Wait, did Crouch didn't play for Wolves from what he played for a lot of clubs. So he didn't play for Wolves. I don't remember Steve Sidwell playing for Wolves. But they've got a Brighton representative. They could have got, I don't know who they could have got as a Wolves representative. Could have even done a shithouse thing and just put Paul Ince on it. He played for Wolves for a bit. I've seen Paul Ince before on TNT before. I guess when it was called BT. But as I said, it's going to be probably a tight game. This because Brighton are going to have the majority of the ball. I reckon they'll probably have about 70% possession most of the time, and I think Wolves will just try and stay solid, try and stay in the game. Gary O'Neill is publicly like, I focus on the opponent when I study the opponent. I fully focus on them in his analysis going into before games and stuff. But will that work against De Zerbi? Will Wolves beat their streak against Brighton? Obviously, they could go above Newcastle and can be a level on points with Chelsea and Brighton. I don't like the fact that we're only 4 points ahead of Chelsea. I was quite confident that the fact that we finish above Chelsea. I still am. Big Craig Dawson. Maybe he'll have a masterclass against Danny Welbeck. Jose Sarr looks so much like De Gea. He looks so much like De Gea. It's just the beard that differentiates them, but he looks so much like De Gea. Are they going to start this or what? It's only 2 minutes till kickoff. Maybe it's because I'm on a delay, but okay, now they're coming up. Fucking hell, it took them a long time, huh? But I think the best thing about doing these watch-alongs as well is the fact that I don't have to listen to kickoff. The Ghana game starts at 8 as well. Could have an eye. I might have an eye on that. I'm probably not going to put it on, but I'll probably be on Twitter looking at score updates and stuff. But I don't know whether anyone saw it, but Equatorial Guinea beat Ivory Coast 4-0. I generally thought they were going to win it. I was ignoring all the Senegal shouts, all the Algeria shouts, all the Morocco shouts. I generally thought Ivory Coast would put them to the sword. And Cape Verde. Okay, well, is that the bet you're putting on, yeah? 29-1, you know. Do you know what, though? If you could put that could be possible, though. That could be possible. You might actually get your money's worth through that bet. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Like, you might actually get that. Like, I'm rooting for you just for that, man. Honestly, I think one of the like more undercover bets that someone could put down, James Milner yellow card. James Milner yellow card could be one, you know. I think it's actually like maybe it was more at Liverpool, but James Milner got a few yellow cards, man. He used to get a few yellow cards. It's like Casemiro, Fernandinho, Rodri. Like, you just bet on them to get a yellow card. You might actually get your money's worth out of that. But yeah, no worries, man. But listen, make sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, people. Yeah, they just showed it now. Wolves are going to 3-4-3. Their bench is finished. Their bench, Jesus Christ, they've got about 2 senior players on there, or 3, if you're counting Dan Bentley and Hugo Bueno. They've got Bellegarde on the bench. I guess they've got some youngsters that have been talked about for a while, like Joe Hodge and people like that. But yeah, João Pedro, they just zoomed in now. He's on form, and he's actually in my FPL team as well. So listen, if Brighton are gonna win, let him score. I don't really want to see anyone else score because I remember I took a risk and put him on my starting 11 against Tottenham when they beat Tottenham, and it actually worked out for me. So you never know with Brighton; they could lose 3-0, they could win against another team 5-0, 4-0. So we'll see, we'll see. I just realized that I figured out how I know if it's lagging or not. It'll come up with an internet site when I showed a comment. It came up with a little bit of lag, so hopefully it's not lagging so much. But we're about to get into this game. Eventually, there's 1 minute after kickoff, but I'm also watching it on Sky Go, so this is probably why it's a bit delayed. But yeah, worst case scenario, Wolves win, like the best worst case scenario. But worst case scenario, that Brighton will probably win. Maybe they're at home, that it might give them advantage. Jesus Christ, Craig Pawson's referee. God, I mean, no one's a good ref, but hopefully it's not a stop or start game. Wolves in that dreadful red kit. I don't know why they couldn't have just wore their orange and gold kit. All right, it's about to start. Getting started or what? 3, 2, 1. Start then. Yep, they started. All right, we're in. Kickoff. They tried to do some FIFA 14 kickoff glitch there. Oh, Wolves on the attack already. First shot straight at Jason Still. That was Tommy Doyle, I think. I did that. Number 20. But straight away, they tried to do some old KSI FIFA 14 kickoff glitch there. Straight away. Oh, Andy Summerton, he's a good commentator, but no, not Jermaine Genius. Or Totti. Yeah. In these type of games when the points are up for grabs like this, first 15 minutes, just try and keep it tight, the typical old school cliche sayings of like, stay in the game in the first 10, stay in the game first 15. Is that Adam Webster? No, that's Van Heck. I was going to say, Adam Webster, he's fallen out of the team a little bit. He used to be talked quite highly of Adam Webster a couple of years ago. I rated him under Graham Potter, but under De Zerbi, you haven't really seen him, or he hasn't really been his best. Yeah, patient play from Brighton. They want to get João Pedro on the ball as much as possible. I'm surprised they haven't done any business because it's not like Brighton are going to suffer with any sort of FFP issue, are they? Because they sell quite big. I know they spent 30 on Baleba and stuff like that. And they spent quite a bit on João Pedro, but I'm sure they have enough money for FFP for the amount of players they've sold. And I'm surprised they haven't got another midfielder. Maybe they're going to play De Hood more. I'm surprised we haven't seen him more. I remember watching the summer series. If you guys remember in pre-season, they did the summer series with a bunch of Premier League teams, and De Hood was looking all right there. It is Jack Hinshelwood at right back and not Pascal Gross. So Cunha just nutmeg someone. Played out for the back walls. Okay, now they've gone direct, but Cunha's the one dropping deep, so there wasn't any striker. But like the key battle, I just realised Neto is playing on the right. Or he might be drifted a bit. They're all switching around, but if Neto gets on a Stupinian, that's going to be a key battle because the Stupinian came back from injury a few weeks ago, and he was probably the best left back last season. Probably going to have a second half of the season that was just as good as last season. You can tell this game's just going to be a bit fiery, a bunch of fouls getting in the way and stuff. Brighton play good football. We know what Brighton are going to bring. Wolves are still a work in progress. Apparently, Gary O'Neill said they're fine with FFP and stuff. So, yeah. Maybe they'll look to do some businesses. They've put a couple of their strikers out on loan. That not Kolasinac, that's old Arsenal guy. Kolasinac or something like that. Or Stupinian. Oh, João Pedro on the edge of the box. João Pedro blocked by Dawson. Big Craig Dawson. Yeah, Wolves are going to have to just defend for their lives against Brighton, man. But Brighton, sometimes you'll find them on days where they're not that clinical, where they've created a bunch of chances and they just put it over the bar. They're missing sitters and stuff like that. So you never know with Brighton either. But yeah, Wolves not really interested in pressing, which is fair enough. The thing is, it's going to be hard to break down this Wolves shape as well. It's going to be hard. Like they're very organised. The only reason why we beat them like 3-1, no 3-0, they played a back four that day. I'm surprised they played a back four that day. If they played a back five, they would have given us more of a game. But we just found pockets. We found space with Paquetá and Kudus, and we had players that could destroy them on that day. And we did win quite well that day. That was probably one of our better performances of the season. For anyone that doesn't know, I am a West Ham fan, but I'm wearing an Italian team shirt today. Italian team shirt. Quick short free kick. I think that's Hinshelwood's cross. Oh, back post Milner. Oh, Lamina's got that. Lamina has probably been what was his best player of the season, I'd say. Stupid Yanya. He's going to get away with not getting a yellow card there because early in the game. But Hinshelwood, decent cross. Van Heck couldn't really get out of that. But yeah, Milner couldn't get that out of his feet or out of his chest. Gilmore to Pedro. Buonanotte. Billy Gilmore, another good player that Chelsea let slip away, but that's kind of their profit thing where they just let academy players go away. But as I said, guys, make sure to like the video, please. Share everywhere because I'm trying to grow the channel, man. I'm trying to get to 500 subs. Because that's the new monetization thing. You've got to have certain watch hours, 500 subs. They've lowered it from 1,000, so it's now 500 subs. Hopefully we can make money from these videos one day. And what a ball from a Estupinian. Semedo's recovered. Pascal Gross isn't the quickest. He's very good technically though. Milner. Milner's been drifting out more to the left. We're seeing like more of an old school James Milner from back in the day. The fact that he's kept his career up for this much at a high level, done well there. Dawson not letting Welbeck get past him. Battle of the old men. Danny Welbeck, I think he scored against Palace. Sorry if the chair's squeaky. I can't control that. Sarabia, Cunha. It's going to be a bit scrappy, this. Cunha. Someone should have said man on there. Oh, Wolves on the counter. Lewis Dunk. Big Lewis Dunk. Lewis Dunk is very underrated, man. He's unlucky to not get England call-ups with the amount of trust we have in centre-back. Dunk. Jason's still done well to keep that in play. Commander of defence, Lewis Dunk. He's a good centre-back, man. Good centre-back. I know you got sent off against Forest, but I think that was more mouthing off to the ref, which is a rule I don't like, personally. But that's what the FA do. Oh, my God. They tried to panic and playing out the back there. Brighton, that's not like them. Gilmore, Dunk. Gilmore. Pedro drifted out left now. They're being very fluid, Brighton. Pedro taking on Semedo. Gilmore on the overlap. Gilmore. Oh, is it a box? Totti headed it out. It's easy for Wolves if they've got that, but can't mess up in the box like that. Just clear the ball. Like, no need to like dribble and pass around the back inside your 6-yard box and your actual box in itself. Oh, Pedro there. Cunha. Get that Doherty there. Oh, Doherty. Oh, there's no one in the box, but Dunk's. It's actually better for Wolves that Dunk blocked that because there was no one in the box to poach that. But Doherty made that run from left wing back all the way in behind to the right hand side. It's decent for Wolves. That's what Wolves need to do. They need to just soak up pressure, but their attackers need to just zoom. They need to just run in behind as quick as they can. They can get them from a set piece, but I don't know how bad Brighton's record is from set pieces. What the fuck was that corner? That was an awful corner. Sarabia. What kind of corner was that? I'm just confused. I'm just confused on how, on whatever they were trying to do from that corner. I'm just confused. Playing out from the back now. They just know how to get out of any sort of situation where they're crowded out. Jason Steele, Billy Gilmore. Oh, well done, Wolves. Oh no, gotta be better there. Brighton have played out well there. Stupid, they're just going forward. All still very organised. Gotta be more careful with the ball there if they're trying to play out, trying to play through teams and stuff. All the African games are about to start now. The Afcon games, they're playing games at the same time now. I don't think they're putting games at 2 o'clock going into the knockout stages of that competition. That competition's actually been quite entertaining as well. Like, there's been a few good games. I haven't watched Senegal yet, but I've watched all of Nigeria's games. They changed formation. They've been better playing three at the back. I watched Ghana's first two games. They Kudus makes them. The Ayu brothers again. How many times are we going to see the Ayu brothers stink it up? Like, come on, let's be honest. But yeah, Brighton just trying to play through walls right now. But with Afcon as well, I really thought that there wouldn't be as many upsets as there are, but anything could happen. Danny Welbeck shot it straight over the bar. That deflect? Oh, that deflected. I thought he just fully knuckled it. I thought he just Ronaldo Portsmouthed it. Fully knuckle deflected off Doherty. It made sense for Doherty to come back, but it's not the same Doherty. Ever since he left Wolves the first time, he hasn't really been the same. He's a bit of a three at the back guy. Brighton have got a corner now. See if they can get a set piece goal. I don't know how good they are from set pieces, attacking wise either. Oh, back post. Oh, Tommy Doyle's cleared it. We've actually had some close calls so far in its first 11 minutes. Hasn't been. I'm not going to say it's been wildly entertaining or anything, but it hasn't been awful. Jose Sarr, Max Kilman, here's Semedo. They're not really gonna. I mean, it would be interesting to see how Wolves just when they have the ball, when Brighton let them have the ball at times, see what how Wolves can play through them. But Brighton are suffocating them right now. Tommy Doyle, obviously, he was involved in that swap deal, I think, with Mateus Nunes. I think he's on loan technically. They played quite well throughout there. Neto is way off. Yeah, Jason still, he's got that. They're just so like well drilled, Brighton. Like they just know how to get out of most sticky situations. But there's always going to be time when they play out from the back and they're going to overplay, and that's always going to happen when you play that kind of football. I guess the high risk, high reward football. Jason still has a lovely ball. Pedro can't flick it to Milner. Pedro coming deep now. They kind of play 4-4-2 ish at times, Brighton. It's like sometimes they play with a second striker. Ever since Ferguson, Welbeck, and Pedro have been their options. Oh, Neto's through. Oh, he's messed up. Van Heck has cleared it. But sometimes they play. It's kind of 4-4-2. It's kind of like it's always a striker dropping deep, always a striker staying in between the defenders, in between the centre backs. It's usually Pedro playing right behind Welbeck. But if Pedro's not there, sometimes Ferguson's playing just behind. I'd like to see Ferguson more get a run of games. I think most people would if we're watching a game, but Danny Welbeck is still doing it at the top level, so fair play to him. Done well. He suffered with a few injuries in his career. Probably could have been could have gone into maybe higher heights, but maybe not right to the top level like Arsenal and Man United. But he could have been a level below that. They're fully just trying to play through them. I reckon Wolves could nick something. Wolves could nick something from this. Like they're gonna have to be very, very patient, Brian. I feel like eventually they might get frustrated, but then again, they might also be used to teams just sitting deep and being organised against them because of the way they play in general. But yeah, it's a 3 and build up right now, just trying to find openings. They can't find openings. You can tell Gary O'Neill was studied like the way Brighton pass around and stuff. There's already 72% possession, according to TNT Sports, for Brighton and 28% for Wolves. Going to be relying on Mario Lemina a lot. Uh, Brighton, not Brighton, Wolves. Mario Lemina, he was a good player at Southampton. He was a good player at Fulham when he was on loan there. But it was good to see him come back into the Premier League. He's actually a good player. I'm not saying West Ham should have got him or anything, but he would have been a bad buy at all. You know, just showing that back. Pedro didn't really get a full head on that back post. No, it wasn't Pedro. Sorry, it was Hinshelwood. De Serbi's so over exaggerated on the sidelines. One of them gaffers that just he shows his feelings a lot on the sidelines. Hinshelwood. Or giving the ball away again, Cunha. Oh no. They've got to be a little bit more accurate with their counters. Because Brighton are losing the ball a lot. Like I get Brighton play through, they play at the back, but they don't usually lose the ball this many times at the start of a game. The fans might be a little bit on edge, but Van Heck is another player that's probably gone under the radar with his performances. And Brighton fans will probably say from the back end of last season till now that he's been one of their more key players. He played well against Haaland last season when at the Amex, compared to how fucking Webster played against him at the Etihad. Yeah, like Wolves are doing very well right now. They're just forcing Brighton to play through, like to play just before their halfway line, but they've played it through now to João Pedro, Hinshelwood, Buonanotte. He's got a few games because of injuries now. He's a young player. They also had Sarmiento out on loan at Ipswich. Oh, gross. Through to Welbeck. Semedo dealt with that. It's funny, Nelson Semedo, when he first came into the league, I didn't really give him much of a chance. I think he was suffering a lot 1v1. But ever since he played in a three at the back under Bruno Lage, not not so much under Lopetegui, but under Gary O'Neill, three at the back is his thing. It's his thing. I don't know how we got a move to Barcelona. But then again, I think Benfica bought him, so he must have done well at Benfica. Jose Sa in goal. He can be got at Jose Sa. He's a bit erratic, but he's not a terrible keeper, but just a bit erratic. Doherty. Brighton got through. Wolves just have to frustrate them. They're playing away from home. They're playing like the away team because they kind of have to in these situations. But I don't know. Maybe we can see a bit more from Wolves because of the attacking talent that they have. Like Cunha's not like the greatest goal scorer. I think Hwang Hee-chan's injured. Now, Hwang Hee-chan's at the Asia Cup. I just realised the Asia Cup's also going on. I'll also be interested for Friday because Tottenham play Manchester City. Son's at the Asia Cup. Son's usually the reason why Tottenham always beat Man City. Always Son running in behind. So that'll be interesting. Man City have not scored at Tottenham's new ground. I know it's not new anymore, but newer. Since they moved into what's it called? The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? And that should be memorable. Stupinian trying to find a cross. Milner. Milner's playing left wing. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Played well there against Tottenham. Stupinian. Yeah, the Wolves are forcing them back again, but Brighton don't mind this. Brighton are like, okay, we'll be calm. We'll find openings where we can. We'll be interested to see how they do when Europe comes back, when the Europa League campaign comes back. Because obviously they came first in their group. They beat Marseille at home. They didn't start off well in that group. Oh, across Dawson, big Craig Dawson. You never know with Dawson. I thought Dawson was a slight tad bit overrated at West Ham. But he was a cult hero, I get it, but I think it's more the fact that nobody expected him to do well at West Ham because he cost 5 million, and the reaction when we got him, including myself, I wasn't happy with him. I wasn't happy with him at times when the back end of his West Ham career. I don't think he was that good, but I thought he had amazing games and he had really, really bad games. Like you don't know what to get with him, so you don't really know what to get from him now. He played bad against us as well, but they didn't really help him. Yeah, Wolves, they're gonna slow the game down, frustrate them, win fouls, dive. That's what they do. Sarabia, obviously. Yeah, that's a foul, I guess. Like that's a foul, sure. Now, okay, he might actually be injured. He might got his knee clashed in, maybe. Gary O'Neill's seen something on his iPad. That's been a trend of recent years. Everyone's got their iPad now as a manager. Make sure to like the video, people, and subscribe while we're waiting for them to kick off again. The lighting better now. The lighting should be a little bit better now. Not too dark, not too light. Stay in the middle here. Should be fine. Yeah, all good. Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's not a foul. You've got to play on there. Are Brighton gonna finally see an opening now? First 20 minutes in, it's just been both teams trying to figure each other out, really. Sarabia, no, not Sarabia, Cunha, Van Heck winning the ball back, done well there again. Probably been the best player so far, Van Heck. Kilman's cleared that. You need defenders like that just know how to defend high up. That not just like ball players, you know. And you get a lot of defenders like that these days that are just straight ball players, but there's no actual like proper aggression, concentration to play high up. But Brighton have got their bodies back quick. To be fair to them. Oh, Semedo's made a good run there, but there's no one in the box again. That's the problem when you're kind of playing like three attackers just switching around all the time. There's no poacher. Like there was no one to attack that. I don't understand. Like you got to give an option, not just stay on the edge of the box all the time or Brighton on the counter. Or as Pascal Gross, Milner, as Kilman intercepts that. Kilman and Dawson and Totti have all started quite well. Neto, they're on a counter now. It's a bit end to end now. Okay, Lewis Dunk's probably got this, but Neto's found some space actually. Oh, that wasn't that far. That wasn't that far off. It wasn't that far off. Decent. There was a decent shot. It was like he found some space. It didn't look like he had that completely under his feet. He kept bobbling, but he actually coded that quite well. Jason still had something to think about with that. Just keep it like this because I need to see if, just in case any comments come through, I've got to keep it on this screen and not full screen. Obviously, you guys can't see what I'm seeing on StreamYard, but we move. All right, Brighton on the attack again. Like, to be fair, 4-0, this hasn't been a bad game. It's been quite entertaining so far. It's been, the styles make fights kind of games. I'm just going to check because it's 9 plus 8. So I'm going to see if there's any early goals in AFCON. No, nothing that I've seen so far. I've seen a lot of people calling out Mohamed Salah. He's out for 3 weeks apparently, but a lot of people are suspicious that he doesn't want to carry on the job. Enjoy it is. I doubt that Salah's injury is fake or anything, but it's just I think a lot of people are also complaining about the rehabilitation that's happening in this country. That he's going to go back to Egypt if they're still in the final and stuff like that. Either way, Liverpool aren't going to have him. even if the thing is, if Egypt lose tonight, depending on other results, they could go out tonight as well. And apparently that'll be if that's the case, then Salah will be touch and go for the Liverpool game. And the thing is, you don't really see Salah get injured often. Like usually, you see him go down, then he gets straight back up. So I don't think he's faking an injury, in my opinion. I know it seems dodgy. I know it seems ironic, but sometimes that's just what football is. Like it's like Mane got injured for the just before the World Cup, I think for Senegal, uh, for Bayern. It's not like Mane doesn't want to duck out of the World Cup, does he? Like it happens, man. It happens. It's unfortunate that it happens to players just before international tournaments. And Salah wants redemption as well because they lost the final to Senegal last time. I think I'd rooted for Senegal to win just because I like Sadio Mane. I don't know about that. I don't know whether that's a foul. And there's a bit of a soft foul there on Gilmore. They've now got a free kick to whip in now, Brighton. I'm gonna try and squeak the chair less. I'm sorry, it's a very squeaky chair. Sorry for everyone that can hear that at home. But you've got a chance to see Brighton whip it across. Pascal Gross just talking to a Stupinian. If they get a goal from a set piece, it kind of like just causes Wolves to now open up a bit more to try and get a goal. And usually when that happens, when a team is like organized and they're just trying to defend, and then the team that wants to attack, and gets the ball, all the time, and they attack and then they score, and then the other team has to open up. They usually win most of the games because then the other team has to change their whole game plan. That was nearly a fumble from Sarr. Well, I guess Van Heck did well there, but he's better marking there. I think the goalkeeper probably wants more from his defenders. Don't know who's marking him. I feel like Kilman's meant to be marking him there because Dawson's marking someone else, and Van Heck was behind Dawson trying to header that. But yeah, Sarr probably. I guess the argument could have been that he could have caught that, but it was split second stuff. Gross is Hinshelwood doing short corners at their work. Thing is, I know it's tactical sometimes to do short corners, but when they don't come off, it's one of the most frustrating things as a match going fan. When you support your team and you see a short corner, the only few negatives about Mark Noble when he was at the club, he used to take a lot of short corners. Like unless you've got some plan, you got some genius short corner plan. Like I see City do it sometimes. Even City's short corners aren't always that good. Like old Pep teams used to be very small. I can understand why they'd go short all the time, but now they've got like Ruben Diaz and Rodri and Haaland, players like that. Really trying to. No, they've done well there. Van Heck again. I feel like I've said his name a lot. I'll say no, that's Hinshelwood. I need to stop confusing Buonanotte and Hinshelwood because one wears 40, one wears 41. It's confusing at times. I can't imagine the atmosphere is rocking at Amex. It never usually is when you watch it as a neutral fan or anything. Just put the camera up, try to set up properly. Make sure to like the video, guys. We are approaching 30 minutes into the game and 45 minutes on the live stream. Stupinian with the corner. Doesn't do anything. Milner, yeah. Wolves goal kick. Scrappy game. Very, very scrappy game. Hopefully we see a bit of more open like last 50 minutes, second half. Like I don't think it's been a bad game, but I would like to see more chances created. As I said, it's styles make fights. It's teams trying to figure each other out. Like points. This is the business end of the season, so teams are going to play more cautious. And Wolves are definitely doing that. Maybe Wolves have ambition to try and get into Europe. Maybe they just have ambition of 40 points. I don't know. But at the same time, I think we'll see a lot more from Wolves the second half of the season. They're just getting into it. They're just getting into the flow of things, Jose Sarr, long kick. Yeah, Brighton have dealt with that well. Come back to Jason Still now. He's gone long now as well. You're not being Dawson in the air that often. I reckon probably top three best in the air at West Ham that I've seen personally. Him, Andy Carroll, and Suchek, probably. Them three probably best in the air. I think Carroll's probably the best. Dunk intercepts in there. Bit of a sloppy pass from Sarabia. Sarabia hasn't started that well, to be honest with you. Pedro. Oh man, he should have slowed it down. Gilmore was there. Minus Pedro. They're just running out of ideas. As soon as they get to the edge of the box, they're running out of ideas a bit. Gilmore. They're going to attack down. They've attacked down the left a lot. Estupinian again, Kilman. As soon as Wolves want you to do that, but like this is their game plan. Like they will push you to the side, and then allow for you to cross the ball because they've got Kilman, they've got Dawson, they've got Totti. Like they're fine with that. Neto, Sarabia. Oh my god, he shanked that. He shanked. Jesus Christ, the camera. It's got a bit. It's got a bit bright there. That should stop it a bit. Yeah, it should be fine. Cunha's got a head injury. He's been whacked in the face. I don't know what's happened there. Where's Cunha now? Oh, he a bit of off the ball altercation. I think that's with Gilmore. It kind of just elbows him. Well, not on purpose, but they kind of just clash. Cunha is exaggerating a bit though. Like I'm not him, but he's up now. Like the head injury was clearly not that bad, you know. Good evening, Mike. Are you going to do any West Ham games in your watch along? Um, I don't know. I usually just watch it with my family. That's why I'm probably not going to do as many West Ham watch alongs, but maybe hopefully in the future, maybe. But for now, we're just going to do um watch alongs for other teams. Thank you for the comment, though, George. Sarabia's gained the ball now. Kilman. Pascal Gross. Playing out quite well, Wolves so far. Like it's quite like these two teams are really good. Like Wolves are good, man. They've been well coached. They've always had good players as well. Like just needed a bit more. They had a clear out as well in the summer. Like losing Ruben Neves was big. Losing João Moutinho after being at their club for so long is big. I might have to keep it like this a bit. Just trying to find the right angle, camera angle, and lighting right now as well. Kilman, Semedo, come on. The Wolves have got to be better. They've got to have more ideas playing out. Because Brighton will just collect the ball and just start again. They're quite happy going back to the keeper so they can start again. Top 5 players on the pitch with the most touches: Gilmore, Estupiñán, Dunk, Gross, and Van Heck. Gilmore's had 45 touches. They've gone down the left a lot. It's been Estupiñán, Milner, Pedro, all down that left-hand side. They might need to just be a bit less predictable in the final third, Brighton. I really hope it's not a 0-0 game, this. I do want to see goals. So Estupiñán's giving the ball away. Tommy Doyle, Sarabia hasn't started well, but can redeem himself. Played well coming off the bench against Tottenham. Probably wanted a few more starts. Now is his chance to start now that Hwang Yi-chan is at the Asia Cup. They've gone backwards again. Bit of a shame that. They've got players that could hurt teams. Trying to think, there's another centre midfielder that's definitely injured for Wolves right now, but I can't remember who plays alongside Lamina. Because Doyle Doesn't really play that often. And Bellegarde starts a little further ahead of Lamina sometimes. Milner's cross. Again, Wolves deal with it. That was a bit scrappy with the clearance, but they deal with it again. Hinshelwood to Gilmore. Van Heck. Pedro's now wide left. They're not really playing with a left winger. I know Buonanotte is on the right, Hinshelwood's on the right, but sometimes it's Milner on the left, sometimes it's Pedro on the left. Yeah, Wolves are just going to frustrate them, as I've said multiple times already. Get my chair a bit more forward. We're nearly coming up to an hour in the watch along, so please like the video, please subscribe, and please share. Just watching Brighton Wolves. We've got Chelsea Middlesbrough tomorrow. We've got Liverpool Fulham, Fulham Liverpool on Wednesday. And I'm going to consider to do a watch along for Tottenham Man City. There might be one for that. You'll see it in your sub box if you are already subscribed. And keep your notifications on for the future for when we do have future uploads and future watch alongs, because hopefully I'll have the aftermath of Sheffield United, West Ham United tomorrow. I don't want to miss an aftermath upload, but I don't really have time today. I don't really have time tomorrow, but I'll try my best to get an upload for you guys tomorrow. And obviously, the watch along won't stop. Buonanotte. Stupinian blocked. Trying to claim handball. I hate it when players do that. Kick it straight into someone and they try and claim handball. That only works in the Champions League. You're going to see a lot of bad VAR decisions for the knockout games in the Champions League, the way they've changed the handball rule and the UEFA rules and stuff. I think Brighton got a corner now. I think Jack Hinshelwood, who's playing for them, is an academy prospect. I think he's Bright. I want to say he's from Brighton. He's come through and through, but I don't know the background. But they've got a mixture of young players. They've got a mixture of veterans, old players, experienced players, however you want to word it. They've got an experience of that as well. If they take another short corner, it didn't work the first time. I don't know what they're trying to do. No, there's another short corner. Where's this going to go? Stupid Jan's cross. Even Lewis Dunk can't get that. It's way too high. Just check Twitter again. See if there's any updates. Oh, Jordan Ayew scored a penalty for Ghana. Oh, for fuck's sake. Looks like Ghana might be in the competition for a bit longer. Please, Mozambique, do something. Fuck's sake, I've just seen a tackle as well. It's not like it was exactly subtle. It was very rash. God's sakes. Lot of giving away the ball in this game, Brighton Wolves. Neto just kicking Gilmore. Tight game, this. It reminds me a bit. It's like an entertaining version of when we faced Brighton at home. And it was just 0-0. Yeah, Stupinian driving forward. Semedo cutting it out. Out for a Brighton throw. Brighton probably. I don't want to even say more dominant just because they have more possession, but I think Wolves probably Like in Pedro, they probably have more of a clinical attacker. Pedro is really good though. Um, but at the same time, Brighton have more of the ball right now, but Wolves are just very organised. I've used the word organised quite a lot in this stream, and that's what Wolves have been. They've just been solid. Good long ball that from Brighton though. It didn't work out. Kilman again. Been one of the centre backs that man the half, like Dawson, Kilman, or Van Heck. Like all three of them have been superb. It feels like battle of the goalkeepers. I've just seen Steele kick it, and then it falls to Jose Sa. And I've seen Jose Sa kick it and fall to Jason Steele. So just realised that even for tomorrow's game, Wolves, Chelsea and Middlesbrough both have like 12 injuries each. But even though Chelsea should be winning that still with their second team compared to what Borough second team. Pedro, oh, he's overran it, man. He's overran it. Get into a bit of an argument. You put Welbeck in behind. It's not the same Danny Welbeck as it was like 5, 6 years ago where he had pace. Wasn't always the quickest, but he had more agile stuff about him. He had more pace. He had more mobility. Saar takes the goal kick. We're coming up to 40 minutes of the game. No opening goal. Would like to see a bit more threatening shots. Like I think it's been a good like game if you enjoy like tactics and all that stuff. But in terms of like the last 15 minutes haven't been great. But it started off well 30 minutes and we had a Neto shot. We had Brighton who probably should have scored in the back post, but um, we haven't had enough shots that test the goalkeeper, like either goalkeeper. What I've noticed about Wolves as well, their left centre back sometimes goes into left back, and their left wing back almost acts like a winger. So it's a bit like how uh, Bournemouth used to be like last season under Gary O'Neill, where it kind of free at the back, kind of not. Sometimes it would be Uatara for Bournemouth, that was the wing back. Sometimes it was Tavernier. I didn't realize how dry my mouth would get from talking so much. Jose Sa again. The goalkeepers have been involved a lot with just kicking the fucking ball this game. Try not to swear as much so it doesn't get, not pushed out of their algorithm. Just realised Leicester Ipswich in a game in the Championship. That's also an interesting game. Capo Verde, as it says on there, but Cape Verde, Egypt is also 0-0. No £29 for you, AK47ND. Whenever you're watching this. So far, because Wolves are not winning either, unfortunately for you. Oh, Pedro, Joe Pedro, it's wide. Oh, not wide, straight into the keeper. Sorry. Yeah, so far that would mean that Ghana are automatically going through and Egypt are not. Egypt are third. We're gonna need that to change. Hopefully that does change. But even if Ghana finished third, it means that its best third place teams Cunha just failed to get into Neto. They're still intercepting it. It's like the Euros a couple of years ago, where it was like uh, there's six. Obviously, there's six third place teams because there's six groups, but there's the four best that go through. Uh, and Ghana's probably going to be one of them if they win, if they get 4 points, especially. Pardon me. But here's the thing as well: when you're one of the early African teams that I've already played three of their games, you're just waiting now to see how the other third place teams do in the other groups. So to see if you if you're a player, you could either go home to your club or you could you're gonna have to stay. Must be awkward for the players. That thought I saw some actual transfer news, but it's Italian transfer news, which is not what I'm interested in. The managers are getting into a bit of a scuffle. Some of the players have. De Zerbi beef with Gary O'Neil as coach. De Zerbi wants it of anyone. I remember he wanted it with Stellini last year. Oh, Jesus Christ, Dawson! Dawson just kicked Gilmore in the face. I don't know whether it was on purpose, but Gilmore did kick Dawson just before that, as he's a bit fiery now. One of Wolves' coaches is about to be yellow carded. I'm assuming De Zerbi's going to be yellow carded as well. One of the coaches with the earpiece in. I don't know what the earpiece is for. I don't know who he's going to talk to and stuff like that. Must be awkward for Wolves' fans to travel on a Monday night to the south coast from the Midlands because they're going so far down south. It must be a far travel. Must be annoying that. Here's Hinshelwood. Wolves pushing Brighton back a bit. They're fine again. They're fine passing back to Jason still. We all know that. I thought he passed out of play there, but Milner's got it. Very patient with their play, but if they want to win the game, they're gonna have to get on with it, Brighton. Wolves, I don't know. They're not really playing anything for anything right now. But if they do win the game, they're in a European race. 2 minutes added time until we get to half time. I will be putting it. I will be putting a Ghana game on when this ends, just for 15 minutes, obviously, because I want to see what's going on. I want to see if Mozambique can get a. Oh, we just had an update from Fabrizio Romano, and it looks like Calvin Phillips is close because he just quote tweeted his own tweet, and the Irons eyes and England emoji is there. So Calvin Phillips for maybe a here we go, maybe tonight. I'm gonna assume, or maybe tomorrow. Pedro Neto's on the attack. Oh, that's a terrible cross, Pedro Neto. Listen, Pedro Neto has to save this game. There's going to be a yellow card for someone. Who's been yellow carded? Cunha. What's he done? What did he do? Oh, it's for a challenge earlier. He got Gilmore. That was a slight stud. A slight stud. Tommy Doyle trying to calm him down. He's the younger player, Tommy Doyle. Cunha needs to keep his head, man. Leicester are beating Ipswich, meaning Southampton are currently second in the Championship. Level on points. And Southampton haven't lost a game for ages as well in the Championship. If for any of you that have been keeping up, Leeds are 4 points behind. They look like the four teams that are battling for promotion. So Ipswich have slipped down a bit, man. I wanted them to get promoted, but they might not. I thought they'd do it, man. They've done well still, but for the expectations, but I think they'd be a little bit gutted. Wolves are not happy with that being blown. The final whistle. All right, it's half time. Brighton 0, Wolves 0. They're moaning at the ref because they're about to go on the attack. I don't think it was going to fall to anything, but yeah, that's what referees are like. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna go to the Ghana game now. Leicester Ipswich, Mozambique, Ghana. Let's have a watch. Watch that until it goes to half time. So this is also technically an AFCON watch along, I guess. I saw a Ghanaian play on the floor. I was begging there. It wasn't Mo Kudus. That's a weird place to warm up, you know. They're warming up behind some chairs. That's interesting. Okay, my screen is slightly stuttering a bit. Did he injure himself back heeling the ball? Oh no, they're just showing the back heel. Oh no, he's gone down. They're putting all kinds of spray on him. There's so much steam coming out of that. So much steam. 15 minutes from now. I thought Chris Hughton was going to bottle it for Ghana. I'll be honest. I thought he was going to bottle it. One Ghanaian player is going to get stretched off now. Obviously, we're just keeping an eye on the Ghanaian game for the for whilst Brighton versus Wolves is at half time, and then we'll be back on the Brighton Wolves game when the second half starts. Because obviously, I'm not watching the punditry because I've got it on mute. I'm really like we need bodies back for that Bournemouth game. You know, we need Mohamed Kudus back because Bowen has just come back. I'm not expecting him to be fully fit every game. Paquetá, like, is probably not going to come back anytime soon. Hopefully, I'm begging he comes back for the Arsenal game. I want him to come back because we rushed him back as soon as he came back for that Bristol City game. And all of that, we'll look back at that in hindsight. It's not Moyes' fault in hindsight in terms of what I'm about to say now because we didn't. He wasn't for anything if we was going to lose like that because he didn't know we was going to lose. But it is Moyes' fault and the medical team and stuff like that for rushing him back. But I'll say that, but I'm not going to put the full blame on Moyes. It's just Pacquiao's probably like, oh yeah, I'm ready, and then he's not ready because the guy wants to come back instantly. But gotta be careful, man. We need you for the crucial games. We need him for European games, and he's not injury prone, but he has picked up some injuries. So I'm a bit cautious of Paqueta's injury record. But Garner just made substitution. Idrisu Baba's come on. Not familiar with him. According to Daily Mail, I don't know how reliable Daily Mail are. Daily Mail Sport or Mail Sport. I don't know whether that's same as Daily Mail. West Ham are close to agreeing the loan signing of Calvin Phillips. Don't really see the point if it's a loan, but cool. It's centre defensive midfield depth. Yeah, sure. Like I'm not really excited to be honest. We need attackers, and I would like depth in fullback, but Moyes seems to be happy with Cresswell, and because Johnson's had 3 good games, people are happy with him again. But we need to upgrade on, for me, every fullback that isn't named Emerson Palmieri or Jordan Iye's done well to flick it away from that Mozambique player. All Ghana really needs to do is slow the game down, I guess. Slow the game down and play their game. I know Mozambique did well to get a draw against Egypt, but I don't know, man. I don't really have much hope. I just want Ghana to be out because I actually like Ghana. Ghana was probably one of my favorite African countries where my family wasn't born. I would usually root for them because I grew up watching the 2010 World Cup and I liked Asamoah Gyan. Wanted them to beat Uruguay. I was actually upset when they didn't beat Uruguay at that time where Suarez handballed it that game. But we've got bigger fish to fry. So we need Kudus back immediately. They've got a good team, Ghana, but they've also got Ayu, both of them. They both look 50. But they've got Semenyo, they've got Inaki Williams. They haven't got Nico Williams. He declared for Spain. I do wonder what his family think about that. Maybe they're just supportive, but you've got 2 brothers and they declare for different countries. That happened with the Boateng brothers, and obviously they don't like each other either. But the Williams brothers actually do like each other. Come on, Mozambique, man. It's the hope that kills you. It's the hope that kills you. I remember when we had Cheku Kuyate and Diafra Saka, and they were doing really well for us. And when they went AFCON, we kind of missed them as well at the time. When Kuyate was used right as a box-to-box midfielder, like that's when we saw Kuyate at his best, not the last season at West Ham, the 17-18 season. He wasn't great then. But a lot of people seem to forget that he was actually good before that. Mozambique have got a bit of space. Cross was overhit. Ah, damn. Well, Kudus on the ball now. Got into Jordan Ayew. And to be fair, Jordan Ayew could look like fucking prime R9. Just, oh no, he's just been absolutely molested by their right back. And their right back's done well there. Jordan Ayew not beating his man in the AFCON, yeah? No, say less, say less. We will be there. We will be watching. We will be watching closely. Yeah, it looks like Calvin Phillips is close. Yeah, I'm gonna assume, like, say, here we go soon and stuff like that. But again, as I said, I'm not that excited. I don't think he's the greatest, to be honest with you. I think Bielsa got the best out of him. Fair enough, he got his move to Man City. He'd be better than if we're gonna play Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, and another defensive midfielder. He'd be better than Souček in possession, but he wouldn't give you the goals that Souček has, or maybe the hard tackles that Souček has. But he would hopefully Calvin Phillips will be able to pass 5 yards. We do need DM depth, but he's going to want to play week in, week out. So I don't really see how this fully works out. This is a very January West Ham window, to say the least. Just get one player that's either a loan or a cheap buy or a pointless buy. Like last window, we got Danny Ings. Last January window, the January window before that, we got no one. And the January window before that, we got Lingard. I remember being upset that we signed Lingard at the time, and he proved me wrong. The time before that, I think we got Jared Bowen and Thomas Souček. That was probably our best January window that I've seen. Mozambique on the attack. Mozambique. Oh my god, why would you shoot from there? You being serious? Just watching the Leicester goal. That's an unfortunate own goal. A lot of people complaining about Jermaine Genius on commentary. Thank God I have the games muted that I'm watching. See what's trending later. But as I said, Calvin Phillips at West Ham. Like, I've just listed you like all the factors about that transfer that you can see of like why it wouldn't work out. But a lot of people are going to be gassed because they just want an English player at the club. And the thing is, we need more homegrown players. But in that case, if we're getting Calvin Phillips on loan, that should give us no excuse to get any sort of attacker in that can give us depth. We can't go into the second half of the season with Ben Rama and Fornals as our attackers. And Cornet, I wanted Cornet to start, but we can't go with just him either. Let's say Cornet earns a place in the team. He might get injured, and we won't have enough cover to come back in for him. We're good enough on the right wing right now, Bowen and Kudus, but a striker or a left winger, please. But whatever, probably not going to get one. Well, big day tomorrow as well. I'm going to be exhausted by the time I'm doing a watch along for tomorrow as well. But we will still bring the content out for you guys. We will still bring it out. The grind never stops. Oh, Mozambique, please. They're getting on the ball a bit. Like, you know what it is with the African Cup of Nations, yeah? It's like anyone can beat anyone. Like, you saw some of the teams, some of the nations that have beaten the big nations. Like, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, Ivory Coast they lost 4-0. So you never know. But I'm. It's the hope, as I said, it's the hope that kills you. they're coming up to halftime as well, so soon we'll switch it back to the Brighton game. But Ghana fans must be thrilled after they saw their team get beat by Cape Verde, and now they saw their team beat Egypt. No, that they didn't beat Egypt. Sorry, they drew. That game was the game of the tournament. It was just end to end. Kudus got a goal straight back after they scored, and I'm pretty sure Egypt scored straight after that. Like that was an amazing game to watch. An amazing game to watch. Uh, I just hope that Ghana fuck up, man. I'm begging Mohamed Kudus to come back. I'm begging Mohamed Kudus. They've got 4 minutes at a time. I think I'm gonna switch it in like 2 minutes. Just give me a second. I'm gonna blow my nose. Just mute myself quick. All right. No, that would have been a grim noise for you lot to hear. I don't know who you lot think are gonna win African Cup of Nations. Let me know who you think. That my prediction's gone. I said Ivory Coast. But I don't think Nigeria are gonna win it. I think I've watched their goalkeeper very closely. I don't think their goalkeeper's that good. But they have been better switching to the 3-4-3. Osimhen hasn't been his best, but he hasn't really had much luck either. It won't be well from what I've seen. He's done all right. Truster Kong scored a good penalty in the second game. The games are coming fast, you know. All right, I'm gonna switch it to the Brighton game. It should be starting now. Should be starting again. HD, yeah. Make sure to pick the fucking HD channel. All right, let's see what's going on. Still adverts, but we'll keep it on the channel for now. I'm not gonna keep switching channels, otherwise my internet will mess up and the stream will be a bit laggy. Okay. Yeah, please, Mozambique, just get the job done. Get the job done. Oh, Cape Verde apparently have gone 1-0 up against Egypt. Jesus Christ. I think that was their first shot, apparently. So what does that mean? Oh, well, that means Ghana. We've got to rely on Mozambique now. We've got to rely on Mozambique. For God's sakes, man. Oh, man. We're gonna suffer. We're gonna suffer. Bro, El Nene is on the bench for Egypt. El Nene is on the bench. Like, what the hell? El Nene can't even make the bench for Egypt, man. What's going on? For imagine, like, I would like a smaller nation to win African Cup of Nations because I wanted Kenya and Uganda to win, but they're not even bloody qualified. Because I've got family that were born in both countries, so I thought, I don't know, maybe one of them nations could do something for me, but neither of them were even in the competition. Like all the nations that I'm from in my life, yeah, are bad at football. Like I was saying this to a couple of people that I know. Like I'm part Indian. India lost their first 2 games in the group stage of the Asia Cup. I'm part English. England don't win anything. Apparently, I've got a small part in the background of my family that's Italian, Scottish, and Republic of Ireland, and Irish, Republic of Ireland. None of them are good at football either. Like the fall off of Italy since the Euros. Jesus Christ. Scotland are trash at football, and Republic of Ireland, they've got some good young players, but I mean, they've got Stephen Kenny in charge. Like, come on, man, let's be serious. The Brighton players are coming out now. Should get the second half started, get refreshed. Why has this ref already got his yellow card out? I was gonna say this guy was just carrying his yellow card. Let's hope there's some goals. I'm trying to see some goals. If I did a bloody watch along just for that to be a 0-0 game, that's just long, man. That's just long. But anyway, let's see what happens in the second half. We have kicked off for the second half. Brighton versus Wolves. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you are new, turn your notification bell on for future watch alongs, and share. We've got, as I've said earlier, we've got the Carabao Cup games as watch alongs on Tuesday and Wednesday as well. Pedro Neto taking on Lewis Dunk. Cunha! It's saved! Cunha! Oh my god, it's over the bar. Wolves again, just like the first half, yeah? They started off quick, but they didn't have kickoff this time. Estupinian gave the ball away. Tommy Doyle did well, put the ball through to Pedro Neto, wrestled off Estupinian. He took on Lewis Dunk, went around the outside. A good save from Steele from Cunha's first shot, and Cunha straight over the bar. Damn, that Wolves will be looking at that chance if they don't win that. It's like, that's one of our chances that we should have put away. That's what they'll be saying. Lemina's got the ball. Oh, done so well. Good strength there. But lost the ball. Stupid now. He's won the foul. I do, honestly, like, I've just seen the graphic of, obviously, they always do show you who the commentators are each half. TNT Sports, their commentators are awful, man. Like, Glenn Hoddle, can't hear him. You turn the TV up, but the volume of his voice does not go up. Jermaine Genius doesn't know what he's talking about half the time, and insanely biased on Tottenham games. Obviously, people don't like Steve. I don't actually mind Steve McManaman. Lucy Ward, I don't. Sometimes I don't know what kind of game she's watching. I really like some of the things she says during the game. I'm like, are you sure you're watching the same game as I am? Her voice is kind of annoying, but I can put out with that if she was speaking facts. She's not, like, half the time she's not. Even if we go to Sky, like Alan Smith, like when you put him on an Arsenal game, Jesus Christ, he is the worst commentator on earth. When you put him on an Arsenal game, he's been commentating for years, yeah. And it used to be him and Martin Tyler as the main guys, not just on FIFA but on Sky. Bro, Alan Smith is so biased, man. Like, people complain about Carragher and Neville about how they're biased, and trust me, they are sometimes. But Alan Smith is the worst when it comes to being biased on Sky. The worst. Like, once I've told you that and you haven't noticed it before, next time you watch a game with Sky on and you have Alan Smith as one of the commentators in the background, you will notice how biased he is. Like, it's insane. Like, we've already got bias towards the English players in this country anyway, because obviously we're English and that's what the English media are like. But it doesn't help when you also get people that are biased towards their teams. You might as well just have you might as well have Arsenal fan TV on when it comes to a game. Like, you, Brighton just suffocating Wolves again. I was about to say Brighton are suffocating Brighton. Gross putting him behind. Sarabia's covering Semedo a lot. Like, that's probably why they're going down that left-hand side so much. Because Sarabia's covering Semedo a lot. There was 2 balls on the pitch. So they've got to retake their corner. One of them went in and the crowd did probably an ironic cheer from what I can see. Another short corner, Brighton? Is this what we're doing? Or are you going to actually whip in the ball? What are we doing? Actually whipped it in. Pascal Gross. Sarr punches it away. Wasn't the most comfortable angle, but it wasn't it wasn't the hardest either. Kicked it straight into João Pedro's face there. Kilman. What's the ref giving? Well, Pedro's down because the ball's been kicked straight into his face. I think any of us that have played football in the past, you know that pain. Somebody kicked the ball straight into his face. Especially the balls in the Premier League, they're obviously harder to kick than your normal ball that you kick in Sunday League. Okay, that's very nice of Jose, so giving him a bottle. Probably a bit too nice. I wouldn't care. Like, if I'm playing against someone and they're suffering because of water and stuff, like, bro, I don't care. Have Cape Verde scored again? Apparently Salah is at the game. Have Cape Verde, people going mad at Cape Verde scored again. No, they've only scored one. It's half time, by the way. Both Cape Verde, Egypt 1-0, and Ghana still 1-0 up. So maybe AK-47, it might be back on if Wolves get if Wolves get a goal. 29-1. That's actually good odds. It's Stupinian. It's a Milner. Again, they're going down the left hand side. Pascal Gross. Straight into Jose Sa. It is a bit predictable from Brighton this game. It's been a bit more predictable than usual from them. Wolves are kind of setting themselves up to like feed off scraps and take a few chances that they can take. That they can take. So they're probably one of their next 2-3 chances probably has to be a goal for them to take the lead and stuff. Pedro through to Estupinian. Milner. Welbeck. Oh, Pedro's through. João Pedro! It's blocked by Semedo. Semedo's done so well to get his body in front of that. Jesus Christ, that could have been 1-0 as well. Listen, we're getting there. We're getting there. First 6 minutes of the game hasn't been that bad. João Pedro's tried his hardest. He's worked hard. Jesus Christ, Dawson's been put under pressure there. And Doherty, Dawson smashing it up as he usually does. And Brighton collect the ball again. I think Cunha's just telling him like relax with the ball a bit. So I think the attackers forwards probably actually want a few more chances. They probably want the ball a bit more. Brighton will just they don't need to slow the game down like this with the goalkeeper. I don't think. I know they're trying to like find options. There's all like tactical and numerical and all that bullshit, but oh no, man, you don't need to put your studs on the ball that much. Sarabia, Doyle, man, Van Henk, Van Henk, Van Heck. It's Hinshelwood. Pedro, can Brighton counter or are they going to slow it down again? Oh, that's too late. I think that passed too late. I think that might have been offside. Kilman's defence nearly goes in. That was onside. That whole thing was onside. So now it's out for a corner. So Brighton have had a lot of corners. I don't think Wolves have had one. That still looks offside to me. It still looks like Hinshelwood was slightly offside. But yeah, Kilman does well to read it, but could have been an own goal that. He would have been unlucky as well because he kicks him and it comes back off his knee as well. So it would have been one of the more accidental ones. But yeah, they just showed a replay here. Semedo does so well to get his body back in front of that because I thought he was going to get beat. Pedro was going to take a touch aside and then just find space to score. But oh no, he does well there. Dawson with another header out. That's all Kilman, Totti, and Dawson have been doing, man. They've just been heading the ball out left, right, and centre. Back to Jason Still they go. It's weird. Jason Still went from being in documentaries like Sunderland Till I Die to this. And apparently Sunderland Till I Die is coming back. I cannot wait, even though my Netflix subscription, I recently cancelled it. Here's Pedro to Gross. Hasn't fell anywhere. Neto, can he win that? No. Neto versus Lewis Dunk has been the main battle because Neto's got a bit more inside. If he had got a bit more wide, we would have seen the Neto versus a stupid young battle I was talking about more earlier this game, but we haven't seen that much. But Van Heck, he's found Pascal Gross, Welbeck. Welbeck hasn't really had much to feed off this game, despite Brighton having a lot of the ball. Been very predictable. They're probably missing Mitoma. They're probably missing a few of their attackers, like a Dingra, who's probably going to come back for their next Premier League game. I don't know whether he'll be back in time for the FA Cup game on the weekend, whoever they've got. Sarabia has put it through to Neto. Neto, he's got Cunha on the outside. He's taken Doug on the outside. Neto and Jason Steele was saved. They're getting close. Both teams are getting close. Probably Inter Milan beat Napoli. Yeah. Wolves have got a corner. I don't know how many corners they've had this game. Dawson! Oh my god, it's gone straight over the bar. Typical centre back shot, that. Gary O'Neill going, trying to give them instructions on the touchline there. I don't know, if you're a Wolves fan right now, you're probably a bit more happier than a Brighton fan, I'd say. I think Wolves have probably been better for me. I think Brighton have had a lot of the ball, but they haven't been dominant enough in terms of actually creating like big chances and stuff. I know someone's probably going to get a stat about that, but I watch football with my eyes. Welbeck has put Pedro through. Pedro to a Stupinian. And Lamina intercepting that. This is screaming a 0-0. Like, I generally don't think anyone's going to score. And a part of me is trying to jinx that because I want to see, a bit of a better game in terms of goals. Been a good game tactically and all that, as I mentioned earlier. Pascal Gross will cross this. Pascal Gross, and yeah, goal kick. Referee saw Jose Sá going down and was instantly like, yep, I'm going to give them a free kick. Going long this time, they can't be asked to play through the Brighton press, fair enough. I don't know who they're going to go long to, though. None of their players are over like 5'8", like going forward. Yeah, they've gone for Doherty. And again, Van Heck, again, one of my contenders for man of the match. Buonanotte, Lamina's done well there. Lamina's played well. He just gave away the ball there, but it wasn't really his fault, that. Gilmore to Pedro. Lamina's won the ball back. Oh, come on, that's not a foul. Like, it's stuff like that. Like, that's very soft. If we give him fouls for that, the game's gone. João Pedro, like, I think his whole laces and his whole shoe came off. Pardon me. I hate when we just have to wait for a footballer to tie their fucking laces. Dunk is a Stupinian. Yeah, Wolves get a free kick from that again. Exaggerated foul. 1 hour, 34 minutes into the watch along. Please like and please subscribe if you are new. And please share everywhere. Please turn your notifications on as well for the watch alongs that are going to come up this week. And hopefully the audio is okay. I'm still getting used to it. I'm going to do that every stream. I've got to check if the audio is fine, of course. Tommy Doyle's going to deliver a long free kick. It's got out wide to Cunha. Doherty surely puts a cross in. Nah, it's gone out. Quite easy for Brighton to defend that. Got to give Brighton a few more problems than that, especially with how open they defend and how high up they defend. Jason Still's going to deliver the ball up. Just it's about winning your duels at this point because this game's been scrappy. Is Neto on side? We'll see. Wolves have been given the advantage. Right foot cross. Dunk is quite comfortable for him and comfortable for Jason Still there. I think Dunk got a bit of a bump to the head from that catch. Stupinian. Dunk. Oh my god, that's a. You expect better from Dunk, especially on the ball. Like instead of him just slicing a clearance like that, you expect a bit better. You expect a bit better from him. Oh my god, my picture. Oh god, I thought that was mine. That was definitely TNT's cameras that were just fucking up there. Wolves are being pinned back now by Brighton's press. I don't know who. I don't think we'll see many subs from Wolves. I don't know whether they'll bring Fraser on. Apparently made quite a bit of an impact against Brentford. Young striker. I don't know whether they'll bring on Hugo Bueno for um, Matt Doherty, maybe. A bit more direct because obviously he's left footed. Playing on the left side, it's quite hard to play wing back and you're, playing on the wrong foot because you're not really playing as an actual winger. Brighton being very patient. I'm surprised they're not playing a bit quicker. Then again, that was a nice ball from Dunk there. Pedro to Hinshelwood. Back to Pedro. Through to Welbeck. Can they find someone in the box now? Like, the cross again blocked. Wolves are just doing well to block them. Wolves are doing very well to just block anything that comes near them. But Pedro, Buonanotte, doesn't fall to Welbeck. Well done, Lamina. Well done. Probably overplayed it a bit. And Milner shoots it wide, but it's been given a foul anyway. The AFCON games have gone into the second half now, so it should be interesting to see whether um, Mozambique could do us a favour. But Evan Ferguson and looks like Tariq Lamptey's getting a few more instructions. Obviously, he's been injured again. He actually played left back in when they beat Man United at Old Trafford. So I want to see if he can come back. I do like Tariq Lamptey. He probably would have got a move a couple of years ago if he wasn't injured. Or maybe a year ago. He might have got a move before Cucurella. Neto and Sarabia played well there with the 1-2. Sarabia, can he have a better second half? Sarabia, I want to say this, yeah. I know Brighton have had more of the ball, but Wolves look more effective when they're going forward. Like, it's probably because Wolves are playing on the counter and Brighton are more open. But I just feel like if there's anyone that's going to score a goal, it's going to be Pedro Neto or it's going to be Cunha rather than, currently Welbeck. Maybe if Evan Ferguson comes on, that might change. And hopefully that is for Welbeck because I think they need a bit more mobility out there right now. Brighton is a bit stiff right now. They've got a lot of players, haven't got a lot of mobility, agility, pace, all of that stuff. Estupinian's probably their fastest player on the pitch right now, I'd say. Buonanotte is not really rapid. He's very good technically though. Lamptey's about to come on. Who's coming off? Danny Welbeck is coming off for Evan Ferguson. Kind of expected that to happen. Danny Welbeck probably can't play 90 minutes all the time anyway. I'm curious who's coming on for. Oh, Buonanotte is coming off for Tariq Lamptey, so Lamptey's going to play on a wing. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I want to say Matoba's on the bench, but I'm not. I'm actually not going to check because I'm delayed, so it might spoil the score for me. But I think Matoba is on the bench, but I'm not sure. That could be a good double change from De Zerbi, though. They've got more to bring on than Wolves do right now. Brighton have injuries. Wolves have injuries. I think Wolves must have injuries because of their bench. It's not looking good. Dunk. I think I'm thinking about it, like Hinshelwood start when I first watched Jack Hinshelwood. Villa beat Brighton like 6-1 or something earlier this season, and he was playing in midfield. So I wonder if De Zerbi believes that if you're a midfielder, you could probably play fullback because Pascal Gross has got in those areas before. Solly March can play fullback. He can play left back. He's played right wing back before under Potter. Like, I wonder if De Zerbi just believes that some midfielders can probably fill in there. Obviously, James Milner, he played left. I think he's even played left back for England once. James Milner, he's played fullback before. But I wonder if De Zerbi believes what I just said. But Brighton again, higher and higher up in Wolves' goal and Wolves' half. Milner, Pascal Gross. Wolves are sitting back well though. They're organised. They're not really threatened. They're not really being stretched. Gary O'Neill set them up very well. Ken Neto carry on a counter attack now. They've got Sarabi again. They're just retaining the ball, trying to keep the ball maybe a bit. Been given a foul. Been given a foul. Screaming 0-0. We're 66 minutes into this game. It's screaming a 0-0 game. Kilman. Totti. Oh, ball in behind. Oh, man. Neto maybe could have made more of that. Still just booted it up. It's end to end, but it's not threatening. Like, it's end to end, but no end product. Pascal Gross has a lovely ball over the top, but yeah, Craig Dawson, that's bread and butter, but it's fallen to Milner, another pensioner. Oh, that's Gross is offside, man. It's one of those offsides that doesn't really need to be given advantage, doesn't it? And the linesman kind of looks a bit like Paul Breach. If you don't know who Paul Breach is, look it up. But one of the linesmen that's doing this game is he does look like Paul Breach. Gilmore starting the attacks. He's lost the ball now. Dawson. Yeah, you got to clear that a bit. Good ball from Semedo though. Got to be a bit more fluid though. Cunha. Oh, Lamina. Can he get away from a Stupinian? Jason still does well there. Commanded his box very well. Jason Steele and Jose Sa haven't really been tested that much, but when they have both commanded their box, they never really needs to do much. But it's more like stuff like being a sweeper keeper and stuff like that. Wolves are about to make a sub. Sarabi is coming off and Bellegarde's coming on. Bit more pace. Bit more maybe control. Sarabi improved in the second half, but in the first half he wasn't that good. Good player though. Decent player. See what Bellegarde can do, man. He started off the season. I remember watching his debut against Liverpool. He started the season well, kind of dipped a bit. It's his first season though, so we'll give him a chance. Just check again on AFCON. Oh, Egypt have equalised against Cape Verde. And Brighton have got the ball off Wolves again. Oh, Pedro, can he get around Semedo? No, that's a terrible ball. But Egypt have scored. They have scored. Stats. overall timeline. Actually, how do I check the group? That would mean that Egypt still have to win. Still have to win to get second. But listen, Egypt have equalised, so you never know. Trezeguet, I think that's the Trezeguet that played for Aston Villa. I remember him being in that team. He was terrible with Premier League player. Oh, Brighton have taken a quick throw in. Why is it panned to De Zerbi? I didn't even see how Brighton lost the ball because after they took the quick throw, it just panned to their manager. Terrible camera work. Dawson, Semedo, Stupinian beating Bellegarde there. Got to be stronger than that. Like, yeah, this is one of them games where it's like both teams as it gets on, they're probably happiest to take the point, but maybe more so Wolves than Brighton. I don't know. Like Wolves are nowhere near threatened of relegation. They're just a bit off Europe, so maybe they might want to try and go to the next level. But I don't know whether they have the squad to sneak one. But whilst Man United and Chelsea and Newcastle were inconsistent, even West Ham, like my team, like they're inconsistent. There's opportunities to be had. Even Brighton are inconsistent. Like whoever gets Europe will be lucky to get Europe, in my opinion. I don't think it'll be us. I think we'll dip off because we'll be focusing on the Europa League, and I think our squad still want redemption from Frankfurt. I don't. I think they felt like it was slightly a bit more of redemption last season with the Conference League, but they probably want a bit more this season. Adam Webster and Adam Lallana are about to come on. Estupinian's come off, so I think either Gross or Milner will go left back. Oh no, Milner's come off as well. James Milner again can't play 90 minutes. Not a shock, really, is it? So I'm trying to think what that back four would be: Webster, Dunk, Van Heck, and who? What Van Heck right back and Hinshelwood left back? Like, what's going on? Well, it looks like Webster is playing left back. He just tuck it in as a third centre back. All right, fair enough. It'll be interesting to see if he can deal with Pedro Neto. Ferguson's just got the ball out to Lamptey. Oh, it's a decent cross. Probably one of the better crosses of the night, but again, crosses are just too easy for someone like a Max Kilman. Is that genuinely how they're setting up? Is it just a straight three? Is Hinshelwood played inverted? I do not know what's going on. But they're trying to overload the middle. Maybe Tariq Lamptey's gone like just straight right back now. Pedro. Well, Webster's not going to offer anything as a left back, is he? I think Gross has gone a bit more out left, so sometimes it becomes a three at the back. He's kind of playing like an orthodox left wing back. That's definitely a foul on Pedro. He's over exaggerating it, but he has kicked him a bit. Not sure that's a yellow card, but it's a free kick. It's definitely a free kick. Please, Mozambique, man. I'm begging Mozambique score. See if Brighton can make this 1-0, you know? Pascal Gross usually has a good set piece delivery. Gross, oh my god. It was straight into the one man wall. It's one of them nights, isn't it? It's one of them nights. How can you take a free kick from there and your free kick went into the one man wall? For God's sakes, man. Ciao, Pedro. Billy Gilmore. Switching it. Doherty intercepted Lamptey's. Well, intercepted the pass going into Lamptey, sorry. Is Hinshelwood playing right back then? Because he's taking the throw in. Like they're very fluid, but it's like I don't know, there's a lot of the same sort of players from Brighton. So tactically, I'm still trying to figure out what's going on, to be honest. Ferguson, can he make it stick against his Irish teammate? It's out for a corner. Maybe a Ferguson winner, maybe not. I hope not, because I'd rather Wolves get something. I'd take a draw out of this game, but at the same time, as a neutral, I'd like to see some goals. So maybe a 1-1 draw, please. Cross into the box. Go on, Bellegarde. Bellegarde's on the counter. He's got Neto in the box. Because he's on his left foot, he doesn't want to do that. Yeah, Brighton have got players back now. They should be fine. Pedro. Yep. They've dealt with that counter attack very well, but Bellegarde, man, just use your left foot. I hate it when footballers just slow down all of the build up play because of their weak foot. Like, come on. Like, you're trying to get a goal here. Just find it with your weak foot. I'm sure it can't be that bad. I'd rather you try with your weak foot than slow down everything with your right. Then again, if we'll score from this phase of play, it worked out, but not sure. Totti, Bellegarde, is let the ball run under his feet a bit. Semedo. Oh, that's a decent ball to Neto. I wonder if he's onside. Neto, oh my god. How is there no one poaching that? That's Cunha's job. That's Mateus Cunha's job to poach that. Neto must be frustrated, man. The few chances he actually had, he's actually played very well. Van Heck and just fighting. So my man of the match would so far either be Van Heck, Kilman, or Neto. Those would be my players. Tommy Doyle, don't get me wrong, he's played well as well. Like Craig Dawson's played well. Hinshaward's played all right, but those would be my main man. Like Joe Pedro's done good as well. Like don't get me wrong, but that would be my shout so far. If you disagree, put it in the comments or the chat. Here's Neto, obviously. Tommy Doyle's done well to just come in and be like, well, I'm around as well. Like I'm gonna fight for my place, and maybe Wolves will make that loan deal permanent. I don't know whether it's already been made permanent, but whatever. It could be one of those days where it might just be if there becomes a last minute winner, that actually might revive the game a bit. Like I don't actually think it's been that bad for a 0-0, but as a neutral, even with myself trying to do watch-alongs and stuff, you want to see like goals and stuff. Brighton have played some nice stuff. Wolves have created some good chances from counter attacks, but it's not been enough. It's not been enough to create like some final end products and stuff. Webster, Webster at left back is confusing me a bit. Gilmore. Oh, it's an all right idea of a pass. Lamina again. Lamina is up there with man of the match. Maybe he's done a good ball into Neto. Cunha's through. There's a 2v1. Cunha's put it around the goalkeeper, but he stretched it so far wide. Can he put it back in the box? Oh, that's terrible. That is awful. That's like the third or fourth time I've had my hands on my head from chances like that. But that's how you open up. Like Brighton have dedicated all their players forward. You got to find space like that. That's how we beat them. Cunha, like, I think, still got a touch on that. He actually did well to come out all the way out of his box and still have an effect. But Cunha made the wrong choice, man. He tried shooting from there, man. You just need to take your time with that. I think he just saw his name in lights, you know. It's one of them moments. Dunk to Gilmore. Pascal Gross. Pedro. It's not a foul. No chance. Oh, Lamptey failed to control that, man. As I said, I hope Lamptey has less injuries throughout his career. But once you see someone pick up that many injuries, you just think they're probably going to carry on at the rate of those injuries. Oh, Neto. There's no pressure on Neto, man. It's just like as in like he doesn't feel the pressure. Oh, Lamina's gone through. Lamina! Save from Jason Steele again. To be fair to Jason Steele, he stepped up when he's needed to. His hair's gone a bit mad now. Tommy Doyle. Neto. Go on. Gross. Ferguson. Surely it's a. Nah, he should have 1-2'd that Ferguson. His link up play is good, Ferguson. I'm surprised by that decision. Oh, Cunha. Oh, he went past Van Heck, but Lewis Dunk again there. When they've needed to do it, Dunk and Van Heck have stepped up. But I don't know. I feel like Wolves could have done better with the few chances that they had. I know they had a few chances, but it's just um, even with the chances they created, they probably should have put more away. And that's probably been the story of Cunha's career, really, especially in the Wolves shirt. Pedro straight into Sar. These keepers are not getting tested enough. I think Jason Steele's probably been tested more than Sar. I think Wolves deserve to maybe edge it. I think they've actually been more effective with their attacks, and obviously it's a clash of styles. They found more space. We've discussed that, but at the same time, styles make fights, styles make games, styles make football matches. Oh, I hope Pedro Neto's not injured there. He failed to get up, but I think Webster found him. Just check the scores at AFCON again. No update so far. I think it looks like Ghana are gonna go through. I really hope not, but Ghana are still winning, man. 1-0. It had to be a penalty as well, man. Oh, that's a shame, man. Need Kudus back. If not, then get a reinforcement, please, in attack. Need a reinforcement. We literally play on the first day of February. So by then, we should have at least someone who is good enough to play in attack. Pascal Gross to Gilmore. It's gone past Semedo. Doesn't have a left foot, so he'll turn back. Pedro. Webster. It's getting a bit sideways now. Deflected cross. Easy for Wolves again. Like, Brighton have played amazing up until they get to the edge of the box where they just cross it in. It's been the story of the game, really. Wolves got to win it in like these kind of positions so they can just counter like this now. Bellegarde, go on, let's see what you can do. Done well there, Pedro Neto. Dunk has done well again to defend that. How has he kept that on? I was going to say, if that stayed on, that would have been amazing, but it can't do everything. Ugh. If I was Wolves, I'll go for it a bit more now. Go for it a bit more. It's the last, what, 5-10 minutes? Open up a bit, open up a bit. Get right in the middle. So you can hear me better. Hopefully the audio has been okay. Can't really test that out right now. We should quickly mute. Yes, the audio is fine. All right. Just testing that out again. Gilmore out wide to Pedro. Taking on Semedo. Wolves, yeah, Wolves have just been defensively good. Brighton have run out of ideas. João Pedro's let it run under his feet. Thought he went out for a throw in there. Oh, Lallana. First time I said his name. I think Pedro got in his way. They all want to make the same runs. It just feels a bit narrow. I just realised Matoma wouldn't be back at Brighton. He would be at the Asia Cup. Pascal Gross, Lallana. Van Heck, is he going to shoot? I don't like it when centre backs shoot, to be honest. It's not like Vincent. It's not like a Vincent Company where you just see one in a million times where a centre back can shoot like that and it just goes in like that moment against Leicester. When I see centre back shoot, it's just awful. It's not like Sergio Ramos either, where he could kick a ball, like he could probably smack a ball, properly smack a ball. Sergio Ramos. Oh, Garner scored again. Fucking Jordan Ayew is the bane of my life. Oh, for God's sakes, man. What is it? It was another penalty. Oh, for God's sakes, man. Mozambique conceded 2 fucking penalties against Ghana. Well, that's kudos out for another game. Unless Egypt can fucking score one, which I doubt they will. And even then, they'll be one of the better third place teams. It's so annoying. Ah, they had to win a game, man. Couldn't just draw or lose. Gilmore blocked shot by Lamina. Van Heck has taken a terrible touch south of Wolves throw. This is actually going to end 0-0, isn't it? Jesus Christ. Pedro Neto's come off. Number 62 for Wolves is coming on. Pedro Neto's been Wolves' best player again, as per. Been effective. But I don't think Gary O'Neill wants to risk it. Maybe. I know it's close to 90 minutes, but yeah, it's just come back from injury a couple of weeks ago. Probably a big workload, you know. I think Gary O'Neill wants them to go off quicker. And having a laugh about it. No, it did well though. No, played well that match overall, I'd say. Obviously, just last reminder: Chelsea Middlesbrough tomorrow, Fulham Liverpool on Wednesday. We have watch-alongs to both games on live on YouTube, live on the channel. Keep your notifications on. Uh, we'll probably be having uploads about the aftermath of the Sheffield United game and uh, Calvin Phillips probably transfer is probably going to happen soon, according to Fabrizio. He put the eyes emoji for it, so we'll see about that as well. I probably will record the Sheffield United aftermath after this watch along, so I can go out and then I can relax. Because I've got a big day tomorrow, so I won't have time to do anything in the day, especially in the afternoon. So if Calvin Phillips Here We Go happens, it'll probably be out like 5 p.m. or something, and then we'll have the watch along. Oh, that ball should have gone through to Buonanotte there. To Hinshelwood. I need to stop getting them confused. I've said it so many times this stream. Lamptey. A few empty seats now and at the Amex now. They're probably just like, gotta go home. Probably not going to score. I know that feeling. That would probably happen at a London stadium as well. I've seen that happen quite a few times. People can't wait to get out of that stadium. And the stadium's horrible. Such an awful stadium. Oh, it's been flicked on. Dawson again, clear it up. They haven't really got much zip anymore in that attack. I still don't know who the 62 guy is coming on. I must have missed it. Pedro, João Pedro. Oh, he's done way too many turns there. Way too many turns. Lamptey now on the left hand side. The 62 for Wolves tackles him. Pascal Gross. Gilmore. Pedro. Dunk. Pedro. Oh my god, man. Bellegarde. Done well to get away from the challenge. Is Cunha. Don't know why the 62 was running on the outside. Should have ran in, probably tried to drag them a bit, but now they've got lack of people in the box. They've just slowed the play down now. We take a draw though. We take a draw. There's 2 minutes left of the game. 3 minutes at a time. We're in the 91st minute. We probably take a draw. To be honest with you, um, wanted a bit more of an entertaining game in terms of goals. We got it in terms of tactics, and they've just put another youngster on called Baker Boatley on for Hinchelwood, Brighton. I've seen his name on Football Manager before. Never really seen him play, so can't really tell you much about him. It looks like it's going to end 0-0. Let's hope it. I would say let's hope it's a bit more exciting tomorrow. Just as long as Chelsea lose tomorrow, I'm fine. Don't really care about the Liverpool game. Don't really expect Fulham to do anything in that game. Just get this game to end. Honestly, just get this game to end, so that I can record a video and then go to bed. To be honest with you, I'm quite tired. Had a long, long day. I'm sure you have as well. Gilmore trying to find the last chance, maybe for Brighton. Dunk. It's Webster. This is probably going to be the last attack, I assume, if there's going to be an attack, and there's just them passing the ball around again. Webster. Lallana's a really good player, man. I wish he had a better career, but at the same time, he won a Premier League, a Champions League. But he could have been a regular in a title-winning side, in my opinion, if he didn't have all those injuries. Would have been maybe a huge regular in that Jurgen Klopp side if he didn't have so many injuries, man. Well, the many players that Liverpool raided off Southampton. Is Lallana. Baker Boatley. Oh my god, Pascal Gross just nicked the fucking ball off him, man. He nicked the ball off a youngster, bro. And that's probably going to be the end. I'm assuming, I think this is Craig Pawson. Assuming he's about to end the game. We're in the 93rd minute now. I think Wolves, as I said earlier, I think Wolves and Wolves fans and the manager will probably be happier with that than Brighton. I don't really know what's going on now. Kind of waiting for it to end. Gary O'Neill always chatting to the fourth official, you know. I'm assuming after this Jose Sarr kick, it will be over. See more fans walking out now. Don't blame them. Boring game in terms of goals. And it's ended 0-0. It's ended Brighton 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. And thank you guys for watching a second watch along of this channel. Please like the video, please subscribe, and please share. And make sure to recommend it to a friend and stuff like that. But we are about to end the stream, so thank you guys very much. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.